I'm Clint Culberson. I'm here with lordsofconsciousness.com, and I'm joined by my good buddy Pitango. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really good, really awesome.
Actually, we just met, and you just blew me away with some of the stuff that your life story and the amazing art that you have, that you create. You create all sorts of jewelry, correct?
Hallelujah, yeah.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to show some of it because it's epic. So these are some of the pieces that you do.
Yeah, those are the rings, and they're all made with a lot of love. We design them, and then we work like few friends together, and we just really remember consciously all the time that we are making rings for people that need to feel kings and queens. They need to feel like they can do it this lifetime. They don't need to come here again and to have another experience of life. They can do it in this lifetime. They can actually be kings and queens in their own kingdom, you know. They don't need to waste their life on surviving and just, you know, they can actually make it this lifetime.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And actually, like, when I mean, like, you know, they're supposed to be kings and queens of their own destiny, which means that they're really going to fulfill what they meant to do here. Because I believe that people who come here, they incarnate here for to do a job that only they can do. And if those people can do what they needed to do here this lifetime, then we actually can save the planet, you know, because if I would be awake, then my job obviously will be to awake others, you know, and then those people that I will be able to awake, they will awaken, and that's a chain reaction. So the only job that we have to do here is to be awake so we can awake other people, because after certain kind of percentages of people who are awake, it's just unstoppable, you know. And hallelujah Krishna, that's it.
I love it. Yeah. You're very optimistic about where we're going as a species.
Yeah, because I don't feel like we have any other option. It's like, if you don't really see where we're going and it's an amazing place, then you can't do it. Like, you need to have a clear vision to go somewhere. You know, you can't go in the dark, you know, when you see only dark. So you have to go to a destiny, you know, like you have to go to a destiny which is beautiful, so you will have the motivation to walk there really good. You know, because if you see that...
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you see that, if you see the destiny and it's beautiful, then you're totally motivated to go there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
just guessed because I don't know.
I love how you said that, you know, we're like lights turning on helping others turn their lights on.
Yes.
And do you think that, I mean, you can see that that's what you're doing even through your art, you know, you're living truly through your passion. Have you seen people light up when they see what you do, and maybe that they might see it for their own self?
I don't know. I don't really know the experience of others except from what people tell me, but a lot of time people, like, I do the rings for the last 25 years, and I would see sometimes people like from far, you know, they will see me and their light will light up, and I know that it's not that they're so happy to see me as much as they're really had an amazing experience with the rings that they carry, and they will come to me, Pitango, you don't know, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but I know that I will hear a really good story right now, and they'll be like, this ring changed my life, da 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 da, and I'm like, I know, you know, they just got a power ring, they just got a like a power object that make them to be more themselves, you know, and that's for sure changed their life, because it's changed my life. I know that like my experience with objects that they made with love changed my life and make me to feel more secure and more powerful in my way, in my direction. So that's what we're doing here. Yeah.
I can feel it, man. It oozes off of you.
Yeah.
So we were talking before, and you were telling me kind of where you're from and where you've spent so much of your life, and you've kind of been all over the world.
Yeah.
And you've also experienced one of the most, you know, how do I say it? Volatile parts of the world, and living in Palestine and being from there.
I born in Palestine, Israel. You know, I always put it together because for me it's one place, right? It's one land that doesn't really belong to anyone. You know, like nothing here belongs to anyone. This is like I don't really believe separation. I don't really believe that people should claim land. I think people can share land and can share life and can share this beauty. And my destiny was to born in Tel Aviv, in Palestine, Israel, and I feel like I been tricked to believe in that my land belonged to me, that my land belonged to my country, and in those rights I have the right to push others from that land, and it's like the complete opposite of what I know and what I believe right now. And from that place of brainwash that I've been experienced, I've been kind of like tricked to go to the army and to experience 2 wars and to experience taking life of others, not by choice, by ignorance of me, by not being aware. I was really young. I was 18 years old. They pulled me out to the service, which everybody in that continent need to do, and I experience like the worst experience anyone can experience. I experience taking life from others, and through that I experience, when you realize something so wrong, then you realize that if this is wrong, then there is right too. If I wouldn't experience something so wrong, I might be still lost in what's right and what's wrong until now. But when you are like so sharp, in the wrong, then the right is very, very clear. Like when you, So
you feel the duality of it.
Yeah, for sure. And when like the visions, like seeing, seeing me, and even more strong, seeing my best friends, that that I know them as people, as pure hearts, doing the worst thing that I ever saw in my life, like beating old women, beating kids, doing things that are not acceptable in any way, and seeing those things make me to lose myself and make me to forget, because I couldn't be myself with that memory. And when I finished the army, then I realized that I don't know myself no more. I just know the experience, and that's what defined me, and I couldn't define myself with that experience, so I just been lost. I just been like no program at all, like kind of like a lunatic, like, I see you have a question.
Did you feel alone?
I felt completely alone. I felt like I have no hope. First of all, I lost all hope because I couldn't imagine that no one can help me. So I couldn't really see any light in any direction, because no one really actually experienced that darkness that I was in, So I couldn't really say to people, I couldn't communicate the pain, because other people would see me, and some of them would even see me as a hero, and I would be like, I don't even know what happened to me. It was all happened too fast, And since then I was, and then I left this area of the world, and I went to travel in faraway countries, like I went to India, and I found myself like very, very lost. And I actually, the people who helped me the most are the people who did not know me, because the people who know me insist that my experience was all right, because everybody else needed to experience that. So people around me couldn't help me because it was natural for them to experience that. So the people who actually helped me the most are people who never knew me, so they gave me a new stage to open up, and to actually, they gave me a permission to be a new person. And in this new person, I could find myself again. And I remember, like, in years of working, and less traumas, less nightmares, less. And then one day I was on a beach in Brazil, and that's one of the most beautiful experiences I had in my life. The biggest awakening of seeing myself. I was on a bank of a river, and there was high tide, like the river went up, and there was ants that they were walking on, like they had their place there, and the water came up and up and up, and I was like, oh my God, the water, they're gonna get killed, they're gonna get washed away, with the river. And I start to save them, and I build those bridges, and I was like, build that thing, and da 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 da. And I was like, and I did that. I made them safe, And in the end of the process, and I'm looking at what I did, and I was like, whoa, I'm not a person that kill people. I'm a person that save ants, and it's changed everything for me. And this is the day that I actually realized that I've been healed.
Wow.
And that's it. Thank you.
What nature can teach us, right?
Hallelujah.
That's seriously an amazing experience.
Thank you.
And you and I were also talking about, I guess coming full circle on this conversation about how, your experience having touched the darkness, if you will, the darkness of, the human experience. It also is like such a connector with those who've also experienced it. Some people probably feel completely lost, in that kind of trauma, having experienced that, having even experienced what it is to be a perpetrator, not just a victim, but actually being the one, like you're saying, which, who knows, might be the darkest of the dark. And then to have someone come from there to finding light and the happiness in their lives, it's you span the spectrum. Yeah,
I feel like big part of the work that people should do is actually be in the unknown, instead of like go back to who they were before the experience. At least from my personal experience, we should if we experience something that really damage our soul or damage our health, like mental health or whatever, instead of to go back to where we were before, like who we were before that, we actually have to open ourselves to something new, which means that we have to create a new reality for ourselves and to be around people who does not know us, because the people who know us will frame us to our experience that we had before, and this is our limits, So I would say first of all is to be open to help, which means be open, be vulnerable, do share the pain, not hide behind the pain with a smile, actually express, be I have a pain and I want to speak about it, and if there is someone around here that can help me, I'm open for that, but and recognize, that the real help is not from techniques, there is no techniques of help. There is only one way of really helping, and you can always recognize that by that form, If you feel love from somebody's eyes, then you know that those people can actually help you. It's not techniques, Techniques doesn't work. Techniques is a limit, is a box again. So anyone that really seek help, just, my advice, if I can give any advice, from my crazy experience. So it's just like recognize the love in the eyes of the people, or in the touch of the people, If you recognize that love, then you know that healing is there. Then you know that you feel safe, If you recognize technique, just don't waste your time, Techniques doesn't work. Yeah.
That totally makes sense. There's a natural flow to it. It's almost like just follow your heart wherever it leads you. When you really listen to it and just follow it, promise to do whatever it tells you. Find the courage. It will lead you in the exact direction. That's the technique, I guess.
And even I don't really know my heart. Like when I was in that place, it's not like I knew my heart. So I can't even follow my heart. But I could just feel what is loving and what is not. It's not like I'm leading. I'm not really leading, but I'm just, because I'm not really in that place of of darkness, you say, I can't lead even myself, but I can still have access to my feelings. And if something feel loving, then I can lay down and be vulnerable. You know, if something is not feeling loving, then I don't have a space to be vulnerable. And I feel like a lot of time, even in our community, you know, like we open ourselves to too many things who doesn't necessarily feel loving. Maybe they feel new, but they don't really necessarily feel loving. And sometimes it's take us to a loop that is just take too much time away from us, you know. I just feel like it's just feeling that, you know, like for example, when somebody really feel loving, then you don't feel like it's better than you. That's one thing that I really found out, you know. If somebody really going to help you, the first thing that he will do is recognize you. He's gonna recognize you as equal, and that's how you're really going to get help. If he's gonna be this big guru, it's all gonna be temporary, you know. It's not gonna really help you. But if somebody will really recognize you and accept you and love you and recognize you, then you will feel like this, you know, togetherness, and then you will experience that incredible healing that you really seek, you know. Not that we always need healing, you know. There is, you know, we don't need to be addicted to healing, you know. There is a point where you just be like, okay, you know, now I just need to work and help others, you know. I don't need all the time to be addicted to the healing, you know. That's another thing. Like I see a lot of people that just addicted to, oh, but I don't feel good. But yeah, you just have to work. You just have to be busy
and get outside of yourself, connect with others, do something for someone else. Altruism is you want real healing. Altruism is the great elixir.
Yeah, exactly. What he say.
This has been an awesome interview, man. I'm really glad we were meant to meet each other, man. Here we go. Thank you, man. And where can people find your stuff?
They found on the website. I have a website like everybody else. It's pitangorings.com.
Can you spell it?
It's Pitango rings rings.com. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you.